Parents thought they could talk over the judge and control the courtroom, but Judge Vonda B shut it down instantly. In these 4 moments, one command from the judge turned non-stop arguments into complete silence.
All right, ladies, you may be seated. I'm Judge Brian D. Woodard, and ma'am, you brought this case before me. Matter of fact, before I get started on anything, I see your both last names are Campbell.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So what is your first name?
Kelly Campbell.
Kelly Campbell.
Yes.
And you, ma'am?
I'm Rochelle, but you can call me Ro.
Okay, Rowan and
Kelly.
Kelly, okay. Yes. Kelly Rowan, let me go there because if I forget it, because Rowan Kelly. All right, so let's get started. So go ahead and tell me about this.
My name is Kelly Campbell.
Alright guys, this case starts off looking like a simple custody dispute between family members, but it quickly turns into something much deeper. A mother, a cousin, and a 6-year-old child caught in the middle. What makes this one shocking isn't just the accusations, it's how casually the situation is described. And as Judge Woodard begins asking questions, you can already sense the tension building. The real question is this. Is this about protecting a child or exposing a parent who completely lost their priorities?
The best project manager the city has to offer. I brought my cousin to court because she's attempting to want to get involved in her son's life all of a sudden. But her choices, they're poor. She has childish behavior and she's not taking care of her responsibilities. Simple.
She's not taking care of her responsibilities. Does she have children with you or living with you or?
She has a son, 6 years old.
6 years old?
Yes.
And so what makes it childish?
Right away, notice how the judge controls the courtroom. Before even addressing the accusations, he clarifies names and establishes order. That may seem minor, but legally it matters, because judges often do this to read the room and evaluate credibility. Meanwhile, Kelly immediately frames the case as a matter of responsibility, accusing her cousin of being childish and neglectful. But here's the key question. Is this genuine concern for the child, or a family dispute that escalated into court?
She's just,
girl,
she wanna
grown.
be in these streets. She's
Girl,
from
Hold
grown.
on one second. We're going to get to that
I'm
part.
real grown.
Okay, Miss Grown, one thing about it is grown people don't have to tell other grown people that they're grown. So just wait till I get to you, and then we're going to go ahead and get this train moving. But I'm going to get to you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Rowe. Yeah, R-O, really obvious. All right, let's go.
If
Let's
you
go.
could change the R to a H. But the point, what I'm saying is.
We're not going there, but go ahead. I'm just
I
going to go ahead and over like
Emotions
that.
are
I
high.
understand, but let's go ahead and get to business.
She's childish because she chooses to mix up her priorities.
Okay.
It's not flying, Your Honor. Her child, you know it's about 105 degrees. She has no AC. She has a gym fan circulating in the home.
The window was cracked.
Hold on.
The window was cracked.
Now the allegations begin getting serious. Kelly claims the 6-year-old is living in extreme heat with no air conditioning, surviving on noodles and unrefrigerated drinks. In custody cases, courts focus on one standard above everything else, the best interest of the child. If living conditions truly put the child at risk, the judge can absolutely consider transferring custody. But at this point, the judge still hasn't seen proof, he's just hearing accusations.
Ladies, let me go ahead and get something straight right here because I just wanted this to go smoothly. And I know how ladies are sometimes. Y'all like to talk and get your point across, and you're going to be heard. I promise you're going to be heard. But being heard this way, it's not going to fly. So let's go ahead and continue without any interruptions. Ms. Rowe,
Got it.
when it's time for you to go, I will go back to you, Ms. Rowe.
Yes.
But for right now, please keep quiet. Can we do that? Let's get this show back on the road.
Thank you, because she's rude.
I didn't ask about what she is. I'm just asking you to go ahead and continue to tell me what you're going to do.
I stand corrected.
Oh,
Your
yes,
Honor.
ma'am. Let's go.
I apologize. As I mentioned, her 6-year-old is in very poor conditions. Circulating hot air with hot air is not going to fly. As I mentioned, the temperatures are high.
Watch how Judge Woodard interrupts the argument here. When both women start talking over each other, he shuts it down immediately. This isn't just about courtroom etiquette. It's about maintaining control so the facts can actually surface. Judges often stop emotional exchanges because heated arguments tend to hide the truth. And in cases involving children, the court needs clarity, not chaos.
She leaves a bowl of noodles, chicken flavor, for her son, Capri Suns that aren't refrigerated. The child is so behind educationally. All he know how to do is whoa. It's just a lot going on. I don't like it, and I am going to be the provider for her child. And that's it, point blank.
Okay. And Ms. Campbell, what are you actually asking for before I go further into this?
Honestly, I want the full custody of her child, Caleb.
Okay.
And I would like her to pay me since she wants other men to pay her. But that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Now Kelly makes her real request clear: full custody of the child. That's a massive legal step. Custody isn't something courts hand out casually, especially when the biological parent is still involved. For the judge to grant it, he would need evidence that the parent is either neglectful, unfit, or unable to provide proper care. So, the moment Kelly asks for custody, the stakes in this courtroom instantly become much higher.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, so they keep saying I'm crazy, right? They took my baby from me and gave it to her because I had a little date. I spent the block. I left him at the house by himself.
You spent the what?
The block. We went to Perry's. Me and his, he was tall, dark, and handsome. But I was gonna bring him a pork chop special back. So I went on this little date, left him at the house by himself. I gave him some noodles, a Capri Sun, and they call themselves saying, oh, you can't leave the baby at the house by himself. I'm like, look, he was good. It was just for like 2 hours. I was gonna be right back, and I was gonna bring him back.
Wait a minute, how long?
Like 2 hours. We
2
had
hours.
reservations, so we was gonna get right in.
So you made reservations and you left your child with her for just 2 hours. Was it just for that night?
It was not 2 hours, Your Honor. It was 6 hours.
And this is where the case takes a shocking turn. The mother admits she left her child alone while she went on a date. At first, she tries to minimize it, saying it was only for a short time. But legally speaking, leaving a young child unattended can be considered neglect, depending on the circumstances. And as the explanation continues, the judge starts realizing the story is about to get even worse.
Plus 2 bonus hours because she wants to have a
All
rendezvous.
right, hold on. Okay, continue this. Yeah, this
Thank
is
you.
initial. I really want to hear this one.
She think because she got a pool.
Well,
in her
I ain't
backyard.
worried about that. Let's get to the facts.
Okay,
Go ahead.
sorry. So I spent the block, ran to the Perry's with the fella. You know what I'm saying? He was fine. Okay. So look, him a stepdad. I was gonna bring him back a pork chop special. Have you had one of them Perry's pork chops?
You trying to get a
It's
stepdaddy?
like this,
Listen,
it's-
you're trying to go and get a stepdaddy
For the
with
baby.
for a pork chop with a pork chop. Is
I
that
was
how?
gonna bring him the pork chop back.
And so you expect him to be stepdaddy because you brought him bringing the pork chop because you bring. I want him to be
I'm
my
bringing the
stepdaddy.
baby.
So maybe if I give him a pork chop, he gonna be my.
I'll bring the baby back a pork chop.
Oh, the
His
baby, you bringing the baby a pork
I
chop,
went
not
on
the
date.
man a pork chop.
No, the man was gonna buy the baby a pork chop.
Okay.
That's how I'm
Sodium.
taking care.
This moment becomes almost surreal. The mother explains she was out trying to find a stepdad and even talks about bringing the child back a pork chop from the restaurant. Now the courtroom tone shifts completely. What started as a custody complaint now sounds like a case about priorities. The judge's reaction shows disbelief because to him, the focus should never have been dinner plans. It should have been the child's safety.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, man.
So me and the man went out to dinner. I get back, they all, you're not supposed to leave your baby here, this and this and this. I'm like, he's 6 years old. He got some noodles. He got a couple of Capri Sun. I cracked the window, the fan was on, so he was good. They say I'm unfit. You know, I fight a couple people, bust a few windows, plant some tires, and can't.
Ma'am, you cannot be serious right now.
Dead.
Are you really serious right now? Number one, you're talking about. What? First of all, let me say this. How hot is it outside right now?
105. That's the
Hold
car.
on. I'm asking her because you're already at 105 because you're already talking. You heated up, and I understand.
I'm sorry, I'm
It's
passionate.
how hot is it outside right now?
Well, that day it was, cause we went at night.
I didn't
cool
ask.
down
Here the judge zeroes in on the most disturbing detail, the temperature. When he learns it was around 105 degrees outside and the child was left with only a fan and a cracked window, the tone of the case changes instantly. Heat like that can be dangerous for a child, especially without supervision. In the judge's mind, this isn't just questionable parenting, it's potentially dangerous negligence.
You just don't have the words to say. And I guess this is one of those times where, Lord have mercy, I do not have the words to say. Now this lady right here, Miss, what'd you say your first name was?
Kelly with a capital K.
Miss Kelly with a capital K.
The best project
Okay,
manager.
I didn't ask if you was the best or the worst because you have no proof to tell me if you did right or wrong. It comes to those project managers or whatever else you say. You don't have to build the words up to me.
Kelly.
Okay. If you don't want to be done that way, why do you think that it's okay to let a child sit like that and treat him like that?
For 2 hours.
It doesn't matter, but I said, would you want that done?
No, I mean, but sometimes we gotta go through stuff to get to the bigger picture, and I was working on this.
It looked like you got to the bigger picture with Paris.
I did, and that's when you know the baby was gonna come with me on
But now something unexpected happens. Instead of immediately ruling on custody, the judge asks about income. Why? Because financial responsibility is another major factor in family court. If someone earns a steady salary but contributes nothing toward their child's care, the court can order support payments. And when the mother reveals she makes $65,000 a year, the judge suddenly has a whole new issue to address.
All right. Miss Rowe, how much do you make how much you make a year?
I make 65.
65,000 a year. And doing what again?
I work for insurance.
Insurance. Insurance, yeah, this
But
costs
I'm
somebody
trying
else.
to beg a baller.
All right, so before I do anything else, quick question, because I almost forgot. So who pays the health insurance for this child?
I do.
Okay, both of y'all can't say that at the same time. So
I'm the mom.
I pay. It comes out of my check, $350.
I love my baby.
if you know, all you've been talking about is pork chops. I've been eating a lot of pork chops. Yes, but can you do what?
She says she loves her baby.
Yeah.
The only time she comes around is December the 31st to get his social so she can file him on the taxes. She's trying to get a come up. A come up. She lies, Judge. She puts 8 dependents. She got 1 kid.
And so you're paying they're paying you obviously $65,000 for your income. Are you paying your cousin anything for keeping this child and taking care of this child?
What I'm paying for?
She barely will give me the food.
This exchange reveals a deeper problem. The cousin claims she has been raising the child for over a year and a half without receiving real financial support. If that's true, the legal system sees this as a parent benefiting from someone else's care while avoiding responsibility. Courts don't look kindly on that. Parenting isn't optional, and financial support is part of that obligation.
She's taking care of your child.
I want him back.
She's taking care of. Okay, so how come you just now coming to court and saying that you just want him back? What happened to the past year?
I've been saying I want him back. She keep dragging me through the mud.
Dragging you through.
Oh, I'm unfit. I'm very fit. I go to
Ma'am,
the
I'm just going to say this. When you're talking about caviar and stuff like that, obviously you have other reasons. So this is what we're going to do. So you're.
Fit.
Are you? Judge, if you didn't
hold
have
on,
the training
ladies,
yesterday-
ladies, hold on. Because we're not going to go there. Y'all sound like my family during Christmas time. 65,000 a year, okay.
Now the judge
paid
starts
by your cousin
calculating the
$50.
numbers.
Your gross
Based
is
on her income,
$5,000.
the court determines how much child support should
$417
reasonably
and
be
20%
paid.
of that, which your
This is
net
standard procedure in family court judges use income percentages and
$4,041.57.
expenses to determine fair support payments. And the message here becomes
your
clear.
rim.
If you're earning money
100
while
plus,
someone
we're gonna
else
add that
raises your child, the law will
$163 to
require
it. So
you to contribute.
basically, you got to pay something. You just can't. You can't just let your cousin take care of all the business while you're thinking all high and mighty with pork chops and caviar. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, before we get to that, let me go ahead and get this before I forget about it. So, yes, you're going to pay, okay? And the thing is, you're going to pay $1,043 flat. Nothing need to be at home with you. If you wanted your child back so bad, it shouldn't have taken this long. Okay, you shouldn't be out there with the man eating pork chops and caviar while she's up there taking care of your child and not getting a dime. Am I mistaken about that?
None of the coins, silver or copper.
So before you have anything else to say, that is my decision. This case is over with. This is adjourned. You have my answer. All right, ladies, you may be excused.
And just like that, the judge delivers the ruling ordering the mother to pay over $1,000 in child support each month. But the real lesson of this case isn't just about money, it's about responsibility. A child's well-being has to come before relationships, pride, or excuses. And when the court steps in, it's usually because someone failed to put that child first. If this case surprised you too, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom moments that reveal how justice really plays out.
You all may be seated. Okay, Miss Doug, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Okay, Judge. Well,
I'm bringing Tim to court today because he's not taking care of his children, his responsibility, and I need help. So I'm requesting for child support.
All right, when you say he's not taking care of his responsibility, what do you mean?
All right, everyone. This case starts with what seems like a simple child support complaint, but within seconds, it becomes clear that this isn't just about money, it's about responsibility. A mother stands in court asking support for her 3 children, while the father across the room already appears defensive. And when excuses start colliding with actual evidence, the entire mood of the courtroom shifts. The real question becomes, is this father truly contributing to his children, or just protecting his image?
By that financially, is he not picking them up?
He's
because
not.
That can mean a lot of things.
Exactly. So he's not picking them up. I'm having to pay someone to go pick the kids up from daycare.
Okay. You're paying them, you said?
I'm paying out of pocket.
How much are you paying?
Approximately $200 a week.
A week?
Yes.
Okay.
There's 3 different schools that they have to go to pick up the kids, daycare and after school care, and he's not contributing.
Okay.
I also carry the kids on medical.
All right. How much is that?
Medical is $250 a month.
Is that for, how many children do you all have?
3.
3? Okay, and that's for all 3 children?
That's for all 3 children.
Okay.
Here, the judge establishes something extremely important. Child support isn't only about handing over monthly cash. Real parenting costs include daycare pickup, transportation, coordination, and medical expenses. When the mother explains she spends around $200 every week just managing pickups and childcare logistics, the case immediately becomes more serious. Being a parent isn't about showing up occasionally or claiming involvement. Real responsibility means consistent contribution. So the key question now is, can a parent call themselves involved if they aren't truly sharing the burden?
Oh, Judge, he has money.
Okay.
Yes, he has money. He's in the club every weekend throwing. Yeah, I have receipts.
Okay, what kind of receipts do you have?
Screenshots from Facebook, Instagram. I mean, I'm blocked, but I have family members that follow him.
Just telling all your business.
First
Yes.
off, that's cap.
What? Excuse me?
I'm sorry. Look, I'm just saying.
No, what did you say?
That's
A cap.
That's cap. Yeah.
She doesn't have on a cap.
Cap means that's lying. She's lying.
Oh, okay. This that new age stuff.
That's that new age.
How you spell that?
CAP.
CAP,
Exactly
like
how
a
I say
learn something new.
So is
All
it
right.
fake money that you're throwing to him?
No, it's fake. What you talking about?
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, we'll get to Tim. Tim, we'll get to you in just a minute so I can hear about all this capping that she's over here doing, okay?
Let me step back.
Okay. All right. Now, I mean, he said it's cap. He said you are not telling the truth. Is that true?
he's being untruthful.
Okay. Is that a screenshot you have right there?
Yes,
Looks
ma'am.
like. Okay.
It's a screenshot, several screenshots of him in the club. The strip club, might I add.
Okay.
Now the first dramatic twist appears. The mother claims the father spends money at clubs every weekend, and she isn't just saying it casually. She mentions receipts and screenshots that could prove it. In family court, lifestyle evidence can matter a lot, especially when someone claims they can't afford to help their children. If someone can afford nightlife and entertainment, the court naturally starts asking why basic support for their kids is suddenly impossible. And this is exactly the moment where credibility begins to shift.
So give me the backstory of this relationship. Like, you all just did not wake up one day and decided that you can't get along, and you're saying he doesn't financially support the kids. How did we get here?
Well, Judge, I should have known better.
What do you mean?
I met Tim at the club.
Oh, okay. So the same club that he's throwing
Correct.
the money at, you were there too?
I was at the, yes.
Was he throwing the money at you?
No, I was just there
That's
Oh,
as
okay.
a patron.
That's
Yes,
cap. That's
yes.
cap.
Mr. Tim.
You know I spent about $2,000 on her that night.
Okay, well, we'll get to you in just a minute so we can hear about
See, that-
Miss
that-
Doug.
that-
Miss Doug, pay attention to me.
Well, Judge, that
Now,
that
you were
proves
in
that
the
he likes to
club
throw
as a
money.
patron.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
say as a patron.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And he was appealing to me. He had, he was suave. So he approached me, and we exchanged numbers.
Okay.
This backstory isn't just relationship gossip. It actually builds credibility in the case. The judge wants to understand how this situation developed between the two parents. The mother openly admits they met at a club, started a relationship, eventually had 3 children together, and over time the father slowly became absent. This detail carries both emotional and legal weight. Courts often look for patterns. Is this just a temporary conflict between parents or evidence of long-term neglect?
Not at this moment, Judge.
Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Tim, give me your last name because I don't just want to call you, by your first name.
No.
Unless you prefer me to call you Mr. Tim.
No, it don't matter. Hall.
Hall? Okay, Mr. Hall. Now, you said she was capping. Let's
Cap.
talk about that.
Big cap.
So is she capping about you all's relationship, you all meeting in the club? She said she was a patron, but you said you spent like $2,000 on her. I mean...
No, what part she's capping about is...
Okay.
I'm a firm believer. I take care of mine.
All right. Now, define what you mean by taking care of your children, because she just said that she's paying someone $200 a week to transport your kids and pick them up and take them to daycare in different schools. So is that true? Like, are you not helping?
Now it's the father's turn to speak, and he immediately claims the mother is capping, basically saying she's lying. But slang has no value in a courtroom. In court, there are only 2 things that matter: proof or the lack of it. The judge takes the correct direction immediately and asks a very simple question. Specifically explain what you actually do for your children. Because saying I take care of mine sounds confident, but the court needs numbers, records, and consistent actions.
Helping with that?
No, I help with that too.
All right.
That's cap as well. You know what I'm saying?
How
Like,
do you,
How do I contribute?
yeah, how do you do that?
I give you about like, how much I give you a month? I give you like, what?
If you gave it to me, you would know.
So you should know.
That's
I
a
gave it to
good
you.
point.
If you gave it to me, you should know.
I gave you, what, 10K?
That's a good point, Mr. Hall.
I gave her 10K, right?
10K as in 10,000?
10K and 10,000.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
All right. Hold on one second. Miss Doug, did he give you $10,000?
That would be a lie.
Okay.
A whole lie.
That's cap.
So-
How's that cap? I got the statements. I got the receipts.
All right. What kind of statements and receipts did you bring with you today?
I don't got it on me, but you know what I'm saying?
Then the father makes his biggest claim yet. He says he has been giving the mother $10,000 every single month. That is a huge statement. If it were true, the entire case could almost end right there. But the problem appears immediately. There are no receipts, no bank transfers, and no financial records supporting that claim. In family court, verbal statements carry very little weight when the other side strongly denies them. The bigger the claim, the stronger the evidence needs to be.
What?
You knew you were coming to court for child support, right?
Correct.
All right.
He thought his looks was gonna help, Judge.
But who is he trying to appeal to?
Not just you.
I'm not interested, Mr. Hall. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're not a bad-looking guy,
I
okay?
appreciate that. Thank you.
But I'm not interested. We're not here for that.
Sure.
I just want to know what these numbers look like.
Well, okay, so the numbers is I gave her 10K a month,
All right.
right? The child support,
10K a month
10K a month.
for how many months?
For how many months?
Yeah,
Probably about like 7, 8.
7, 8 months.
Who's counting? You know what I'm saying?
Me, I'm counting.
Of course.
You ain't gave
But
10K in 9 years.
I'm talking though, baby. I'm talking. So,
Did you call her baby?
yeah, you know, she got my
At this point, the energy inside the courtroom shifts noticeably. The father tries to control the room with personality, swagger, and confidence, but the judge refuses to fall into that trap. This becomes an important judicial moment. Some litigants believe confidence alone can replace evidence, but courts don't run on charisma. They run on documentation, and when the judge firmly says she's not interested in that performance, she essentially shuts down the entire strategy.
heart. She had my kids, so like she always got my heart.
So why don't y'all just get back together?
Nah,
I'm a pass.
Oh,
it's
okay.
been there, done it. Ain't
That's
gonna
a
go
hard-
back. Yeah.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
So, Mr. Hall, you said you gave her this money. She's saying no, you don't have any receipts or anything to confirm it.
It's not looking real good, is it?
It's not. What do you do for a living?
I'm a rapper.
You're a rapper? Okay. And how much money do you make?
I make about like 200,000, but it's like that's whenever taxes and everything is deducted. She on my neck about payments and what I'm saying, stuff like that. I get about at least 30,000. You know what I'm saying, to myself that I can use for myself and what I want to do.
Which is throwing it in the club.
Which is throwing it in the club, of course.
Mr. Hall,
So
Mr.
she's
Hall,
taking all my money.
Mr. Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
I may look young, but I wasn't born yesterday, okay?
Okay.
Do not come in here and waste my time.
I ain't with you.
You and I both know.
Now the discussion turns to income, and the father says he's a rapper earning around $200,000 a year. But within seconds, he starts talking about deductions, expenses, and how that money is used for his career. This is where judges often see a familiar pattern. First, someone flexes their income, but once child support calculations begin, the numbers suddenly start shrinking. At this moment, the court is trying to determine one thing: is this story stable and consistent, or does it change depending on the situation?
That I have heard that song and dance over and over again, where people come in here and say they make all of this money, but the moment they realize they're more than likely, or if there's a possibility they can be placed on child support, they try to diminish it and say, oh, I don't make this much, but it really is that much. You follow me?
I'm following you, but here's the thing.
The math ain't mathing.
Here's the thing, though. She takes a chunk out of my money. Then you gotta understand too. I gotta rap mines. Don't do that. Don't do that. We trying to put on a good show for these people.
Well, no, you don't. That's the thing. You don't have to put on a show for anybody. I don't need you capping right now, okay? That's what you said, right? That's what you said she was doing. So I don't need you to do that to me. I need you to be honest with me, because you paying child support is going to be based on the evidence that I hear. And as of right now,
This is where the judge delivers one of the strongest observations in the entire hearing. The math isn't mathing. In legal terms, that means the testimony doesn't add up internally. If you claim to be paying large amounts of support, there should be records. If you claim high income, there should be documentation like taxes or payment history. When neither appears, the court naturally leans toward the version that sounds more grounded and believable. Bold claims alone are never enough.
something in here that suggests that you make less, as well as suggests that you've given her $70,000, $80,000, then we will consider it at that point. But today I can only go off of the evidence that I heard. You don't have any type of 1099s or anything to show that you're paying other people any expenses, anything like that.
This is my expense right here.
Okay, Mr. Hall, you came here to waste my time.
I work, Mr. Hall.
I know you work for sure.
And you know, I don't like to steal people's phrases, but according to what Ms. Doug said, and I'd have to agree with her, the math ain't mathing. It's really not. Because if you're spending that type of money on kids, you're gonna bring that to court. That's the first thing you're gonna want me to see.
At this moment, the judge gives the father one final opportunity. Do you have anything, a 1099 form, payment history, financial statements, anything at all that supports your story? But once again, the answer comes back empty. And at that moment, the direction of the ruling is practically decided. Family courts don't demand perfect financial math, but they do require believable evidence. Right now, the father's case rests entirely on confidence, while the paperwork simply isn't there.
Right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to base your child support off of that $200,000 a year per your testimony. So under Texas law, it's capped. Okay. So I can't place you on child support based on $200,000 a year per se, because your child support would be a lot. So it will be capped, which will make your net resources $896.72. And you said there are 3 children. Do you have any other children outside of those 3?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I'm going to move right along. All right. So health insurance, she says that she pays $250 a month for all 3 children. Do you have access to health insurance that will be, or can you get health insurance on the children? Because if not, you're going to reimburse her that $250.
So run this to me, Judge. How much am I looking to be paying per month?
Right now, without any reimbursement of health insurance or any credit for health insurance that you could possibly get that's cheaper than $250, you're looking at make sure I got this right, $2,969 a month.
Got 3 months.
But that's a break, because you said you give me 10,000. So that's a whole break.
You know. Yeah.
nothing used to
You shouldn't be
already.
bothered.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be bothered.
So, Mr. Hall,
Should've found you in the club.
excuse me. I know you're still soft on her, but I'm talking to you right now, all right? So, did you have access to health insurance that would be cheaper than $250 a month?
Yeah, I can get some.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. It doesn't change your child support amount really at all. So what we will do, instead of you paying her $250 a month for reimbursement, I'll give you credit of $100.
Oh,
Health insurance within the next 30 days. If you don't do it within the next 30 days and she comes back, you'll be paying her the $250 reimbursement.
We'll be back, Judge.
no,
Okay.
We'll be back.
Well, that has nothing to do with me. All right. So your
have
child
my
support amount will remain at the $2,969. You know, of course, like I said, that's depending on you getting the health insurance. If not, that number will go up.
Okay.
Okay?
We probably gonna see you again.
Okay. You're gonna see me again because you're gonna do what I'm suggesting, right?
That's kept.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Hall, is there anything else? Mr. Hall, is there anything further?
No, man.
Okay.
In the end, the ruling becomes crystal clear. The father is ordered to pay approximately $2,969 per month in child support, along with providing health insurance within 30 days. But this wasn't just a financial order. It was a courtroom correction. The judge set aside excuses, image, swagger, and unsupported claims, focusing on one thing: 3 children who depend on real support. And when ego grows larger than evidence, the courtroom almost always cuts the ego first. If this case surprised you too, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more powerful courtroom breakdowns.
You all may be seated. Miss Williamson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Okay, so we're here today because we both have a child together and we both have split custody, but lately she has not been around. She has not been able to help me with the child. She's been doing her...
All right, everyone, this case starts with what looks like a simple split custody situation. But within seconds, the courtroom realizes something important. The agreement worked on paper, not in real life. One parent claims they're basically raising the child almost full-time, while the other simply says, "I'm working." But in family court, being busy isn't an excuse. When custody is supposed to be equal, responsibility should be equal too. So the real question is, how did equal custody turn into one parent doing almost everything?
Own thing, and I need child support.
I've been working.
That's not an excuse. This is your child that you gave birth to, that I adopted, and I'm spending more time with her than you are.
I got a lot to pay for. Help y'all out, take care of the baby. Just because I'm not around, that mean I'm bringing in the money.
When's the last time you helped us out?
I pay the insurance.
The baby gotta eat. The baby need clothes.
Did I need to leave? I mean, I have to be here because I'm working, but if you all needed to keep talking, I could just excuse myself. What did y'all want me to do?
I need help with getting child support because I'm not gonna do this.
Now the tension moves straight to the facts. The petitioner clearly says support is needed because the other parent stopped showing up the way the custody agreement required. And the judge immediately understands something important. Emotional arguments don't decide child support cases. Patterns do. Who is actually taking care of the child, and who is just explaining why they can't? As this hearing continues, those patterns are about to become very clear.
So now that I can help you with, because the going back and forth and all of that, that's not going to help your case, okay? So I understand your frustration, and I do have the court order that you provided, and it looks like child support was not ordered because you all agreed to have split custody.
Right.
Did.
Okay, so that's changed,
Yes.
all right? How often, like how long has this been going on?
For about 3 months now.
3 months?
My job ain't easy.
Neither is mine, obviously, right? You'd agree that my job is not easy, right?
I mean, look pretty
probably not,
easy
right?
sitting down. I could do that all day.
Oh, okay. Right. We'll come back to you, no worries. Now, she is working. You're having the child. I'm assuming
Here the judge sets a crucial legal foundation. Child support was never ordered before because both parents agreed to split custody evenly. But if reality changes, meaning one parent suddenly keeps the child almost full-time, the court has the authority to revisit that agreement. Something that once seemed fair can quickly become unfair. And at this exact moment, the direction of the entire case begins to change.
The child?
Yes. I
Okay.
adopted a
How
child.
old is this child?
She's only 6.
6? What is her name?
Her name is Sage.
Sage. Oh, she sounds so cute.
She is.
Now, is there anything else you wanted me to know before I move over to her?
Her reasoning when I asked her why she isn't spending amount of time that she's supposed to, since we do have split custody, is she's working. But when I go on her Snapchat and her Instagram, she's being flued out and in Miami, but yet you don't have time to spend with your child.
Why you all on my social media anyways?
Ma'am, everybody is on your social media, okay? So let's not act like you don't know everybody is looking at social media.
Well,
And you being, what do you say, flued out?
Yeah.
Now, frustration starts turning into evidence. The child is only 6 years old, and the petitioner says the other parent has been almost completely absent for the past 3 months. Then the social media angle appears. Snapchat stories, Instagram posts, Miami trips, and being flued out. Courts usually ignore gossip. But when someone's online lifestyle directly contradicts their parenting excuses, it becomes a credibility issue. So the question becomes, is this really work travel, or are priorities starting to reveal the truth?
flew out for the week. No, I'm sorry. I be at work and it be a lot going on. Y'all know what I have to deal
are
with
you
as a flight
working
attendant
when-
with all these crazy people on this
Okay, so
airplane.
are you being flued out with your job as a flight attendant, or are you doing other things that
I'm working
require
as
you
a
to be away
flight
from work?
attendant. I mean, sometimes, occasionally, I may have a little flued out situation, but most of the time I be working hard. I pay this $175 insurance. Like at least I'm doing something. I do
Congratulations.
my part.
You pay a whole
$175.
$175 in health insurance.
What you mean?
What do you want for that?
Baby could be on Medicaid, but
Oh, you know what? That is a good point, but
This moment is sharp. The judge directly asks whether the travel is strictly related to the flight attendant job, or if other things are happening too. And the response sounds like a partial admission, sometimes work, sometimes a little flued out situation. That's where credibility begins to crack. Courts don't expect perfect parents, but they do expect honesty. When answers start sounding vague, judges quickly realize the full story may not be as clean as it first appeared.
point. At the end of the day, this is both of you all's child, which means that Sage is both of you all's responsibility. And you are going to pay child support. Since, I'm just sitting up here, This is what I do. So how much money do you make a year? And make sure you're being honest, because I have your documents in front of me.
about 79,000.
I couldn't hear you.
About 79,000 a year.
$79,000 a year, and you want to be flued out and not give her anything for Sage? You came here to waste my time. I'm about to go ahead and read these numbers off to you so you can pay child support.
Now the judge completely shifts the tone. This is no longer just about custody frustration, it's about financial responsibility. The respondent tries to take credit for providing health insurance, but the judge reminds everyone of a basic legal truth. Paying for insurance is good, but it doesn't replace parenting responsibility. Child support exists because raising a child requires daily financial contribution. Covering one expense doesn't erase the rest of the obligation.
Child support?
Yes, ma'am. Child support. That's right.
I'm going to have to pay insurance too?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
need to?
Yes, ma'am. You're going to pay. Yes, ma'am. You're going to carry the health insurance and you are going to pay child support. So, based on your financial documents and what you just testified to, $79,000 a year for salary, that makes your gross $6,583, brings your net down to $5,157.12. All right. How many children? Just Sage? Sage is the
Just
only
Sage.
child? Okay.
That I birthed for 9 months.
That you don't take
Congratulations.
care of.
Then comes the most damaging moment of the hearing: income. The judge has documents in front of her, and when the respondent admits she earns around $79,000 a year, the legal math officially begins. In family court, admitting income carries serious weight. Once those numbers are on the record, child support calculations follow quickly. And at this point, it's obvious the judge's patience is running thin.
Excuse
know
me.
what it is
Excuse
to carry
me.
a baby for now.
Okay,
Just because a dog had a baby, that don't make it the mother.
excuse me. I'm talking. I believe I'm the judge. You all do not need to address each other. You have enough issues as it is, okay? So,
That's why we
again,
together now.
I
That's
need
why I
you.
be cheating now.
I need you to pay attention
Girl.
to the. Since you like to be flued out and stuff, I need you to pay attention to these numbers as they fly your way. Okay? So $5,157.12.
This exchange becomes emotional and messy. One parent accuses the other of not caring for the very child she carried, and the argument quickly turns personal. The judge has to step in immediately. Moments like this happen often in family court. Years of unresolved co-parenting frustrations suddenly explode in one hearing. But the judge brings the focus right back where it belongs, not on insults, but on the child's future.
Is your net one child? They bring your child support obligation to $1,031.42. Well, let me go ahead and give you a credit for that $175 that you. It's not going to be much, so don't thank me yet. It's not. So, let's see. I give you credit for the 175, 658. Oh yeah, that didn't really help you out none. So, I mean, your child support obligation is.
Now the actual child support formula begins. The judge reads the net income, considers one child, and calculates the monthly obligation. It might sound technical, but this is the exact moment where emotions turn into law. What started as a complaint is now becoming a real, enforceable number. Once the court sets that number, the debate ends and the legal responsibility begins.
$5,057.12, one child. Child support obligation is $1,011.
A month?
That's what I said.
$1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a whole rent payment.
You got it.
That's what I'm saying. You got
I
it.
got it.
You got it. You being flued out.
The respondent does receive a small credit for providing health insurance, but it's only a minor adjustment. Courts don't ignore existing contributions, but they put them in proper context. Even if insurance is being paid, it only reduces the final obligation slightly. It doesn't eliminate it. That's why the judge almost jokes, "Don't thank me yet." She already knows the final number is still going to hit hard.
Okay. Well, did you get what I just said? You got
I heard you.
Oh, okay. Is there anything further?
No.
All right. Did you have anything further?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. You all are dismissed.
And then the final number lands. About a $30,000,000 per month. This isn't just a financial ruling. It's a message from the court. If there's time and money for trips, travel, and social media lifestyle, there must also be resources for the child. Was the respondent shocked by the number? Probably. But from the judge's perspective, this isn't punishment, it's correction. This case hit hard because the real issue wasn't love, it was responsibility. Split custody only works when effort is split too. When one parent quietly carries most of the burden while the other keeps offering lifestyle excuses, family court eventually steps in. And that's exactly what happened here. The social media image told one story, but courtroom math told another. And in the end, the numbers made the truth impossible to ignore. If this case surprised you too, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more powerful courtroom breakdowns like this.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Adams?
Yes.
You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Your Honor, I've decided that I need a little more money a month with the child that we have, so that's why I'm here.
All right. So currently, how much are you receiving?
Alright guys, this one starts off sounding simple. A father asking the court to increase child support. But within seconds, the case turns into something much deeper. A history of abuse, mental health struggles, financial changes, and a 5-year-old child caught in the middle. The judge now has to decide one thing. Has the parent's situation changed enough to justify a higher support payment? And as the testimony unfolds, the story behind this family becomes far more complicated than anyone expected.
I think it's about minimum wage.
Okay, so about what, $213 or so,
Yeah.
something like that?
Yes, around
Okay.
that area.
All right. How old is the child?
She's 5.
Okay. Does mom give anything extra? Has she been doing anything extra?
No. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
So how did you all get to this point? She's on minimum wage child support. Was she working previously?
She was working previously, and then she quit the job. I want to.
Right here, the judge starts with the basics. How much child support is currently being paid? Around $200 a month for a 5-year-old. And even the judge hints that number might not realistically cover a child's needs today. In family court, support amounts are based on income and circumstances. So the real question becomes, has the mother's financial situation changed enough for the court to legally increase the amount?
I can't really get that backstory out of her, but we had to separate, Your Honor. I couldn't do it anymore.
You couldn't do what anymore?
I couldn't be with her. She started to get very just abusive for what it is. My breaking point, she went upside my head because I couldn't put her food in the microwave.
Oh wow. This lady did that?
Your Honor.
She looks so sweet.
No. You darn near need to get the bailiff in here. I can't. She's very abusive. She can play the phone.
And then the case takes an emotional turn. The father explains that the relationship ended because of repeated abuse. He even describes being hit during an argument over something as small as heating food. Now, whether that moment was isolated or part of a larger pattern matters a lot in custody and visitation decisions. But it also explains why the parents are no longer together and why communication between them is clearly still tense.
No.
Okay. Well, he said you went upside his head. I just want to make sure you don't try to go upside mine.
It was a rough day that day. Your Honor, I'm diagnosed bipolar, and I was just having a really rough day. And our child, she was just really just crying all day, and I just needed a little bit of help. And he was just saying he couldn't help me at home, and so that's why I just kind of acted out.
Oh, okay. So it was an isolated incident?
Huh?
Was it an isolated incident?
I'm sorry, when she get her foot going like that, I just... Say it again.
Was it an isolated incident?
What do you mean, isolated?
Like, did that happen one time?
The mother acknowledges something important. She struggles with bipolar disorder and had stopped taking her medication during that time. Mental health challenges can complicate family situations, but the court still has to focus on stability for the child. The judge tries to determine whether the violent incident was a one-time breakdown or something that happened repeatedly, because when a child is involved, patterns matter more than excuses.
I mean, look at him. He's a fine-looking man, and I love our child. And
He's a nice-looking guy.
I really want to work it out, and I just got this new job. And
tell me about that new job.
Well, I'm a manager at a fast food restaurant.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get back on my feet, and but I got a lot of debt, so I have to save that money, and I don't feel like I can pay more child support right now.
How much are you making now at your new job?
I'm making $55K.
$55,000. That's a lot from where you're at now.
Now we reach the turning point of the case, income. The mother reveals she recently started a new job as a fast food manager making $55,000 a year. And in child support cases, that single number can change everything. When a parent's income increases significantly, the court can modify the support order. The law assumes that as a parent earns more, their financial responsibility toward the child should increase as well.
And that he has things that he needs to pay for you all's daughter, right?
Yes.
And I can only imagine $200 or so for a 5-year-old is not cutting it.
It's not.
You understand that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's only fair that your child support is increased because your income has changed and you have the means now to support your daughter a little bit better. Now, that's not to say I understand that you have debt. I understand that you have things that you have to pay for, but with what's in the best interest of the child, your child support should be increased. You understand that, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is your daughter involved in any extracurricular activities or anything?
Yes, she's in ballet.
Ballet, okay. How much is ballet?
It comes to about, I want to say about 200 a month.
200 a month? Okay. And she goes throughout the year?
Yes.
Okay. What about health insurance?
The judge now brings the focus back to the child herself. A 5-year-old named Sage. She's in ballet, has health insurance expenses, and everyday costs that go far beyond the current support payment. Courts always operate under one guiding rule: the best interests of the child. That means the judge isn't just looking at the parents' arguments, she's calculating what it realistically costs to care for this child.
To adjust your child support so that it increases to reflect what it should be based on your new income. You testified that your new amount was $55,000. That would bring your gross to $4,580, bringing your net to $3,504. You only have one child? This is your only child?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's going to be based on 20%, which brings your child support amount to $700.80. Now you do have to reimburse dad for the health insurance, okay? So that $780 plus the $200.
This is where the math becomes law. Based on the mother's new income, the judge calculates support using standard percentage guidelines. With one child, that percentage typically lands around 20% of net income. After running the numbers and adding reimbursement for health insurance, the court lands on a new monthly obligation, $922.80. It's a huge jump from the previous amount, but legally, the calculation follows the formula.
To be able to afford all this because he's the one who sold me this and said it was a good car.
So what
Your
did
Honor,
you
in
want
my
me to
defense,
do about it?
I sold her that car.
Well, here's the deal. I don't even need your defense because I didn't need her story. It doesn't have any impact on what it is that I have to do. This isn't a divorce where, you know, we're in a temporary orders hearing and we're talking about splitting debts and anything like that. So it's irrelevant to what we're doing here today. However you have to take care of that expense, that's how you're going to have to handle it. And if the two of you have an issue that ends up having to result in litigation, that'll be done in a different court, okay? So as of today, your child support has been increased to $922.80. Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
And just when the ruling is about to settle, the mother tries to shift the conversation to a car dispute with the father, but the judge shuts it down immediately. Why? Because this court hearing isn't about old personal conflicts, it's about child support. That moment perfectly shows how family court works. Emotional history might explain the situation, but the final decision always comes back to what the child needs right now. Is this case surprised you too? Drop your take in the comments, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns just like this.